This is the 28th meeting all-time between UCF and Bethune-Cookman, and for just the second time this season, the Knights control the opening tip. Knights an 85-68 loss at Auburn on Wednesday. Only trailed by 3 at the half. Johnny Dawkins said they played well for 25 minutes and then things started to fall apart in a tremendously tough environment as C.J. Walker takes the opening possession down the lane. It pops in and out.
But that was really good ball movement by UCF. Versus Auburn, a little too much isolation ball. Clearly the Knights have worked on better ball movement and execution on the offensive end.
Bethune-Cookman at 1-6, but Wildcats have played a challenging schedule, including that game at Seton Hall, their most recent game. 84-70 loss. Shot clock down to 2. Paulina doesn't see it, and it's going to be a shot clock violation as Damani McIntyre's shot was blocked by Walker.
I thought UCF played really well in the first half versus Auburn. And then the second half, the Knights came out and they couldn't get anything in their press. And then starting to turn it over too much in the half court offensively, could never really dig themselves out of the hole they created early in that second half versus Auburn.
Mahan has it stripped. Marcus Garrett with the rainbow off the glass, and Bethune-Cookman scores first. UCF had a stretch in that Auburn game where they missed 13 of 14 shots, and Johnny Dawkins said he felt like his team lost their poise with those offensive struggles.
You and I watched that game. They were getting clean looks, and they just weren't able to knock it down. I mean, Darren Green, one of the best three-point shooters in the country, didn't make a three versus Auburn and had clean looks. Sometimes the ball just doesn't go in. But what can you do? You know, if you're a good team to become a great team, if you're not shooting the ball well, how do you still execute?
Good finish by Garrett. He's got all 4 for Bethune-Cookman. Early 2-point lead for the Wildcats. Darren Green fading away on the baseline. And the rebound to French. Bethune-Cookman loves to play in transition. French's 3 off the back rim. Garrett skies for the rebound. Up and over Jong. It rolls around and out. Mahan passed up the open-looking 3. Perry gets into the lane and gets the shot to drop. Darius Perry, 18 against Auburn on Wednesday night. He is one of the top scorers in the American.
What's one of the cardinal rules of defense? Don't leave the ball. You can't, especially Darius Perry. He can make that.
That's Calvin Paulina missing the 3.
That. Very capable from 3.
That was something Reggie Theus talked about. He said Paulina's a stretch 4, and even though he hasn't shot it well from 3 yet this year, he is very capable. French working in some traffic at a difficult angle, and Mahan pulls it down for UCF. Walker running the floor. Great job keeping it alive. Darren Green misses the 3, stays with it, and Jong will have a chance for a 3-point play.
How about the body and ball control of Jong? Just a fantastic job of going up and under. Nice little pass from Darren Green. It's a tough finish. Bake's been really good for UCF. What a great addition, transfer from UNLV. I thought he was UCF's second best player versus Auburn. Had 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. There's about a 5-minute stretch where he was in total command of the front court versus Auburn. Auburn might have one of the best front courts in the country. And Bake Jong was more than just efficient. He was really good.
And 11 points was a season high. Paulina spin dribble, lost the handle, and UCF turns it right back over.
Something that Bethune-Cookman's going to have to be ready for. UCF needs to get back to their full court press, their activity. That's when they're at their best. Causing turnovers, getting deflections.
The Wildcats navigate the pressure that time. UCF's press caused a number of problems against Auburn on Wednesday.
In the first half, but not in the second half.
French curling. Like he was unaware of how open he was. Left the three short and stayed with it. Just inside the three-point line, Damani McIntyre's shot is strong. Knights a three-point lead. Nice screen and roll with Jong, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
We'll take a look at this replay here. It got set just in the nick of time. You know, looking at it live, it looked like it was going to be a block. I thought he was set right at the last moment.
There's Joe French in there that took the charge for Bethune-Cookman. Wildcats passing over the top of the UCF trap.
And this is what the press does. 16 seconds before they start their offensive set.
Great show by Jong, who had the steal, and then Marcus Garrett fouled him. Better, and was anxious for them to show it here this afternoon.
Offensively, things need to get back to more pick and roll, more ball movement. A little too much ISO play in that Auburn game. UCF has a ton of weapons, but you have to be able to use them inside of your offense.
Perry hiding out in that short corner. Bounce pass to Jong was taken away. Coach Dawkins talked about being able to handle Bethune-Cookman's mixing defenses. He said that Bethune will mix defenses more than any opponent they've played this season, and being able to adjust to that would be important to their offensive success.
You'll see aggressive man-to-man. You'll see 2-3 zone. You'll see a matchup extended 3-2 zone as well. So, again, this is Coach Reggie Theus. He's got plenty of athletes on the perimeter. It's a way for them to keep the offense honest and give rest to some of their top guards.
Darius Johnson and Isaiah Adams out there seeing their first action for UCF. Knights 3 of 6 from the field, but 4 turnovers. Adams has it poked away. There's a 5th turnover, a steal for Damani McIntyre.
Good defense of Darius Perry, cutting off the baseline against a very good player in Joe French.
Reggie Theus adamant about his team setting it up, running offense. He said they did not want to get into a track meet with UCF. Contested three for Marcus Garrett. What a start for the 6'1" redshirt junior from Chicago. He has got all 7 of Bethune-Cookman's points.
He was good versus Seton Hall as well. He had 11 points versus the 21st ranked team in the country. Bethune-Cookman's backcourt, they have big scoring capabilities.
Isaiah Adams opened 3, and he got fouled by Paulina. Now, Garrett's interesting. You look at the numbers for this Bethune-Cookman team. He's started every game, but he's 7th on the team in minutes played. And Reggie Theus told us that that's just an indication of him trying to figure out his rotation. He hasn't quite gotten there yet, but he feels like Garrett's toughness has been a big asset to this team.
Yeah, Coach Theus calls Garrett a run-through-the-wall type player. He's like, those are exactly the kind of kids that I want at my program.
So 3 free throws for Adams.
This is a guy who really needs to get going for UCF. Isaiah Adams, averaging 5 points per game. He was on the all-freshman team last season. There were a lot of assistant coaches in the American Conference that, after last season, they told me, they said, we think Isaiah Adams is going to be a pro. And he does a little bit of everything well, and he's got to improve. Ultimately, people are going to look to his three-point shooting, but he's got a target on his back now, and he needs to improve his decision-making. He needs to stay aggressive while limiting his turnovers. Easy to say, hard to do, but this is where he excels right here at the top of the press. This is a diamond-and-one press for UCF. You see him get deflections. This is my favorite press of UCF, this diamond-and-one when Isaiah Adams is at the top. I think it causes so much disruption and frustration for offenses trying to break it.
French with a bounce pass past the outstretched arm of Adams that time. An open 3 in transition, pops in and out for Mikey West, who was in off the bench for Bethune.
And you know why that's a great shot for UCF? It's because that shot isn't practiced. There's a lob.
Perry to the Skywalker. And UCF starting to find some rhythm.
It's a tough matchup for Darius Johnson. Good matchup for him to learn. They take a switch. He's going to have to guard Joe French a lot. It's a dangerous pass.
Good catch by Dylan Robertson. It has to be a late shot clock 3 for West once again. And here comes Perry.
C.J. Walker.
He's got shooters on both perimeter. There's the lob. UCF welcoming Bethune-Cookman to slam Lando on the last couple possessions. French throws it away. Another chance in transition. Adams off the backboard for Walker.
Oh, he's getting pulled out of the game right now. Yep. He's getting pulled out of the game right now.
At the other end.
But Ty Freeman showing off his athleticism. All the coaching staff before the season said, look, you know, C.J. Walker is the best player on our team, the best athlete on our team. Ty Freeman's going to compete with C.J. Walker for best athlete. He can absolutely fly.
Freeman, the junior college transfer from Iowa, will be on the free throw line.
And he makes the most of his minutes. Ty Freeman, number 11 for UCF. He's counted upon in a lot in the press. He's a versatile defender in that he can guard really positions 1 through 4. 6'6" freshman. He shoots 68% from the field. You get a guy coming off the bench, sometimes he's the first or second guy off the bench. You need someone like that to be a star in their role, and Ty Freeman is a star in his role. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do, and that's why he's got a lot of trust from Coach Dawkins.
That's a phrase Johnny Dawkins uses a lot with his team. He wants guys to feel like they can be stars in their respective roles. Freeman 50% or better from the field in every game this season except for Auburn, and he didn't have a shot attempt in that game.
Yeah.
He's at the top of UCF's press after the 2 free throws. 9-0 run for the Knights. French, quick release, and got the 3 with Reynolds closing out. Darius Johnson works off the screen. Darren Green yet to find his stroke as Dre Fuller goes into the Bethune-Cookman bench, out of bounds to the Wildcats.
And Darren Green needs to get going. Had only 8 points versus Auburn, 0 of 6 from 3. This is one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. They need to find him some rhythm.
Collins Joseph backs it out for Bethune-Cookman. Good depth at the guard position. Talked to a number of his former NBA teammates and guys that he'd been in the league with, especially Magic Johnson. He told the story about asking Magic Johnson, like, you've been really successful in the business world outside of basketball. How did you do it? And he told him, Reggie, I'm still the point guard. I'm still directing traffic. All you've got to do to be successful is take your personality and your basketball traits and apply it to administration. That's what he's trying to do within Bethune-Cookman's athletic department.
And the key is apply it to administration. You said it. He's in it for the long haul. You don't take the head coaching gig at Bethune-Cookman and the athletic directing gig at Bethune-Cookman if you're not in it to build something special. This is one of the all-time great just people in the basketball community. 2-time NBA All-Star. He also played on that that unbelievable UNLV Final Four team. Remember how great those teams were. And I think he's going to do great things at Bethune-Cookman.
His resume is impressive. Darius Johnson off the mark with that 3, but took New Mexico State to the NCAA tournament, coached in the NBA with the Sacramento Kings. He's a guy who has been at virtually every level of basketball.
Uphill climb, too. You know, when you look at the team was picked 10th in the SWAC. It's a new conference. They only have 2 players returning from the 2019-20 season because Bethune-Cookman elected not to play due to COVID reasons last season. So their first game versus South Florida this season was their first game in 614 days. It's a long time without college basketball.
And given all of those variables, Reggie Theus is pretty happy with the way his team is performing. And again, 1-6, but against a really challenging schedule.
It's a very challenging schedule, and I think the first thing he's going to say is we're impressed with our effort. And if you watch how hard they play, they get against South Florida, Seton Hall. I mean, they gave Seton Hall everything they possibly had on the road, up 1 at halftime. He's proud.
Not proud of
nice
that.
step
Dre
through.
Fuller with a discard of Jacoby Long to lay it in. And so often Dre Fuller makes the right play at the right time for UCF. He has been timely in a number of games this year. Long just inside the free throw line. Nice touch for the 6'4" grad from Oklahoma City.
This is what we call Dre Fuller PhD. This is called proper hand development. Watch the way that he uses his right hand to shield the ball, almost like you're tucking a football. And the body control to step through. That's really good stuff.
For a guy who sees the game well, McIntyre runs over Darren Green. Offensive foul. That's the 3rd charge taken by UCF so far.
The guards of UCF have done a very good job throughout this season of taking charges. Not easy to do. You have to have a combination of courage and fundamentals to be a good charge-taking player and team.
17 fouls committed by Bethune-Cookman, only 2 by UCF. So Knights in the bonus for the final 10 minutes of the first half. Freeman handoff to Perry. A skip step in the lane. The shot was short, and here comes Collins Joseph. Garrett draws a foul before his shot was swatted away. And Garrett's been the primary scorer for Bethune-Cookman. He's got 7 of their 12 points.
So that's a learning aspect play for Ty Freeman. Ty Freeman gets the foul. He's chasing down Garrett. Right behind Freeman is Mbake John. And you have to know where your guys are. You have to know your personnel. There's no reason to bump foul Garrett here when you've got one of the best shot blockers in the American Conference right behind you. Trust your big fella to make that play. If you can't get in front, just ride next to him or run past him and trust that Mbake's there to clean up the mess.
Freeman sits as C.J. Walker comes back in for UCF. And Garrett goes 0 for 2 at the line. Knights by 6, just past the midway point of the first half here in Orlando. Darren Green still scoreless. UCF's leading scorer yet to get on track. Walker lost the handle and out of bounds to Bethune-Cookman. That is 8 UCF turnovers.
No question they have to tighten it up. Bethune-Cookman is not pressing. They're not denying passes. A lot are unforced turnovers. You play around with Bethune-Cookman, you'll find yourself down 1 at halftime, like Seton Hall did. They thought they were going to come in and just take care of the Wildcats, but this team plays exceptionally hard. They've got good guard play, and they're fearless. It's exactly the combination of traits that Coach Reggie Theus wants.
Robertson misfires on the jumper. Perry finds Walker. This jump shot is much improved from what it was a season ago, and there is an example of that. Deep 2 for Walker. He's got 6.
He shoots almost 63% from the field, and it's not all dunks. He has, some nice touch within 8 feet of the rim. He's got a little floater. He's got a baby hook, and that jumper's looked so much better than last season.
There's Paulina. Continues to struggle from threes. 3 for 20 this season. Mahan gets a step on Paulina, sets up Perry. Green a couple of dribbles. And Paulina discards Jong to get the rebound.
Darren Green put 2 hands up in the air and he says, "You got to be kidding me." And those are shots that he has routinely made all season. He's in a little bit of a shooting slump. But Darren Green's a ready shooter, and ready shooters don't stay in slumps long because his feet, hands, and shot prep are always the same. He'll get it going.
Robertson working on Jong, goes to the jump hook. Impressive turnaround for Dylan Robertson.
Kareem-esque. Smooth.
A three for Brandon Mahan. And it would be big for UCF's offense if Brandon Mahan, leading scorer from a year ago, could get on track.
Has to be better on the offensive end. He's only averaging 6 points a game in the last 3 games. He has to be a more efficient scorer on the offensive end.
Baseline jumper for Collins.
Nice
Joseph Green all the way in.
Or am I giving up a 3 to Darren Green? That's why I wish UCF would utilize more than one ball screen per possession because of that reason.
2 free throws for Darren Green, his first 2 points of the game. UCF 8 of 8 at
Nice
the
ball
line as a
movement.
team.
Really
Perry,
nice ball
wide open 3, cans it.
All 3 of those guys, you know, are more than capable for 3, but that was really good unselfishness by the guards, UCF, Perry and Mahan.
McIntyre took a tough shot as he went right into the chest of Jong. Knights have their largest lead of the game, chance to add to it. Perry left open again, back-to-back threes for Darius Perry. Bethune-Cookman was hanging tough, but the lead has swelled to 5th from three-point range today after they went 4 for 24 against Auburn and had a number of good looks in that game.
Look at that defense from Perry. That whole possession was just Darius Perry being super locked in, giving no room. He was a pest to Marcus Garrett. On-ball pressure. Even before that pass, watch him dig, watch the hands, gets in position. Textbook.
We talked to Perry a little bit after shoot-around today, and we asked him, what does UCF need to do to reach their potential? Where do you guys still need to get better? He says, we can play much better defensively, and he is certainly setting the tone for that.
Second to worst defensive field goal percentage in the American Conference. They've been giving up way too many shots. Open looks. Now, that's part of this is a new defensive system, right? You're really deep, you're athletic, so Coach Dawkins elects to press a lot, which is genius. It's exactly what you need to do. But the transition from, if you don't get anything from the press into your half-court offense, needs to be a little bit tighter. They got to be more locked in.
Darren Green curling to the top, just inside the three-point line, and it's a 10-0 run for UCF.
Like I said, he's a ready shooter. Guy like that won't be in a slump for a long time because of his shot prep.
Joe French gets knocked down. He was looking for a foul call. There was some contact there with Green, but it's a turnover.
Again, he moves so well without the basketball. And that's just, you know, how quickly does he get that off?
Yeah.
You give him a foot and a half, you're done. You're done. You have to crowd Darren Green.
Green unable to get it inside. Walker now posting. A lot of perimeter passing for UCF. Perry gets a step. Green, another quick release. And there's 3 more for Darren Green. He's hit his last 2. And suddenly, the Knights have a 20-point lead. French able to answer at the other end.
Speaking of quick releases, how quick was that?
It's funny, Johnny Dawkins felt like there was a lot of comparisons between Joe French and Darren Green. Said when they played Bethune-Cookman in 2019, French was almost exclusively a shooter, and now you look at the tape and he's become a much more complete offensive player, just like Green has.
Darren Green off the dribble, so dribble jump shots. He's top 50 in the country in terms of efficiency.
There's one very tough that ultimately lands on the front rim.
Probably got to kick that to C.J. Walker on ball side there.
Garrett sets up Paulina.
He's got the green light, doesn't he?
Keeps shooting it. Perry
bad
tried
pass.
a full-length bounce pass in a lot of traffic. Steal for Dylan Robinson, and a jumper for Marcus Garrett.
Yeah, Bethune Cookman needs someone else besides Garrett, who's got 9 points. He's their leading scorer. Joe French has been too quiet.
Mahan wide open on the wing. 5 threes in the first half for UCF, and those might as well be layups for Mahan, Perry, and Green.
A little talk between Brandon Mahan and head coach Reggie Theus on the sideline there. I don't think Mahan wants to test head coach Theus. 2 of 2. You want those guys making threes in transition. It opens up so much for the bigs, and it puts defenses in just a feeling of disarray, having to chase 3 different guys out at the three-point line. It's exhausting to guard.
Marcus Garrett has been the best player for Bethune-Cookman. He gave it up. McIntyre to a step-back 2. Good defense by Adams. Paulina lost the handle, and Adams collects it for UCF. Freeman to Mahan. Another open 3. 3 for 3 from deep for Brandon Mahan. Guy who was looking for some confidence with his jump shot has found it here in the first half against Bethune-Cookman. Adams will lead the break. Darius Johnson now will back it out. Knights have made 7 of their last 8 shots. And Freeman with an errant entry pass as Jong was trying to get position on the inside.
You can't read the post defender. You have to read the weak side help. That's ultimately what's going to give you a clean pass or no.
Freeman tracks down the miss by Paulina. Bethune-Cookman just 3 of 14 from three-point range. Johnson up top, Freeman. 1 dribble, and the jumper is pure for Ty Freeman.
May look like a simple play. It's not. Pump fake. The defender goes flying. Dribble into a mid-range is a move we call a skill move. That must be worked on during the summer and in the offseason. And again, but Ty Freeman's not going to force a 3 because he doesn't do that. He understands his role. He's going to take the right shot for him, not the shot that he just wants to make.
Garrett contested jumper around and out. There have not been many clean looks for Bethune-Cookman. Solid half-court defense by UCF. Jong off the feed of Darius Johnson.
It's one of the top pick-and-roll teams in the country, making it look easy.
Good double team. Mahan with the steal. Up ahead for Adams. Keeps it himself and hammers it through. It has been an offensive showcase for UCF here in the first half. Knights shooting 65%. A lot of dunks and a lot of threes.
You get the feeling that UCF is trying to make up for some of that frustration offensively they had versus Auburn. It's not that it's just one guy. It's multiple players making the extra pass, the right play, finding the hot hand in that possession.
8 players have scored for UCF as we come up on 20 seconds to go in the first half. Robertson pushed out near the three-point line. French with 2. Robertson finds Mikey West, and they don't get a shot away. Second shot clock violation of the first half for Bethune-Cookman.
These are valuable possessions for freshman point guard Darius Johnson. Less than 10 on the shot clock to end a half. What do you do?
Turns down the screen with 2. Pass deflected. Freeman got it.
What makes good teams turn into great teams. You don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Coach Dawkins knows that in order to continue to grow and evolve as a team, you have to really turn up the volume defensively.
Now, one of his messages to the team at shoot-around today was that it's not about them, it's about us. He is holding his team to a certain standard regardless of the competition as Paulina opens the second half of the bucket for Bethune-Cookman.
Great point by you. Kind of felt like there were a few players that really were aware of how intense the atmosphere at Auburn was and tried to do a little too much on the offensive end. And it was, for a couple of these guys, for the first time, that was their first true road test. Remember last season, no fans in the stands anywhere because of COVID. Auburn's gym was rocking. They were absolutely rocking because you knew that they wanted to come in with kind of a vengeful type attitude after losing to UCF the season before.
C.J. Walker has it poked away and then commits a reach-in foul. So Bethune-Cookman starts the second half with a score and a stop. The UCF pressure in the first half forced the Wildcats into 13 turnovers. Jonathan Bolden starts the second half for Bethune-Cookman. He did not play at all in the first half. Reggie Theus trying to mix things up to find the right lineup.
Good defense by C.J. Walker. So you call him a positionless player. Can guard the guards as well.
Mahan comes over to block the shot attempt by French. Green, again, quick release, buried the three.
Brandon Mahan points at him, shakes his head and says, yep, you're back.
And Green missed his first few shots this afternoon, but he's hit 3 in a row. Garrett behind his back, jumper is short. And Jong tied up with Robertson. Jump ball will give the possession arrow to UCF.
Look at C.J. Walker playing hard without fouling. Look at Perry's hands. Active feet, active hands. Great defense starts with the feet. And then Brandon Mahan eyes up, knows where his shooter is. Too much space. Austin Lyon can't do it. Green's automatic.
UCF closed the first half with a 12-0 run. And they are asserting themselves here early in the second half. Walker with a friendly roll over the front rim. Paulina gets into the lane. And what a job UCF's done defensively on Joe French. Garrett, that three off the front rim. Jong tracks it down. Numbers for the Knights. Green, lob, Walker. Not quite enough air on that lob, and Jong couldn't save it from going into the UCF bench. Let's spend a moment over on the sideline with Hannah Russo.
Yes, like y'all mentioned, Darren Green Jr. is back. He's hit 4 out of 5 of his three-pointers today, and that's awesome to see considering he was dead at Auburn. He's hit multiple threes in every game leading up, so it looks like he's back in the right mentality to keep it going through the season.
That Auburn game really feels like an outlier for Darren Green. He has been tremendous every game except that one. Team's leading scorer in every game except the Auburn game. There's going to be nights if you're a shooter where you don't shoot it great. You just got to be able to bounce back.
Well, again, I mentioned it previously. It's what we call Darren Green is a ready shooter. Ready shooters don't stay in slumps for a long time. Being a ready shooter means that your feet and your hands have the same shot prep for every single shooting opportunity. And Darren Green's shot prep never changes. He's on balance, on target every single time. Guys like that don't stay in for shooting slumps very long at all.
One more free throw for Marcus Garrett. McIntyre, the only player in the lane for Bethune-Cookman. He gets the rebound. French unable to hit the three, and Mahan comes away with it for UCF. Green, rhythm three is short, and French has the rebound. Garrett's pass intercepted by Perry, a collision.
Oh, look at him, Bake
Jong
Jong.
down to the ground. More video examples of you diving on the floor for a loose ball. I dive on the floor to pick up my son's Cheerios.
Well, I was just closer to the floor than everybody else at 5'10". It was easier for me.
Baseline jumper goes down for French. He's got 8.
Austin Lyon, first on the floor for Cheerios. I love it.
That's right. When you got a 16-month-old, there's an awful lot of them that end up on the floor.
Yeah.
Mahan slithers for space inside. He will head to the free throw line to test a pretty impressive streak. It's now 36 in a row at the line for Mahan, 15 of 15 this year.
And because, even though he hasn't missed a free throw, he's only 10th in the country in free throw percentage due to the limited number of free throws. So that's Darius Perry tried to sneak up to the free throw line and steal some free throws.
Mahan had walked over to the bench to talk to Johnny Dawkins, so Perry, oh, there's no one at the line. I'll step up and take the free throws.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. If a teammate thought that the free throw shooter was just taking too long, well, I'll go up, step up, and see if anybody notices. It's unbelievable.
Mahan with a wry smile. Alandis Poole, the referee, giving it right back to him. Mahan steps up and hits both. So it's now 38 in a row for Brandon Mahan.
That's pretty special.
17 of 17 this year.
Hasn't missed a free throw since the Memphis game in January of 21. Unreal.
It was good that I said that after you jinxed Darius Perry in the last game.
Yeah.
Much better that came from me. Mahan, deep 3. Off the front rim. French pulls it down for Bethune, and a chance in transition for the Wildcats. Walker didn't block.
That's really good.
Just the second game in double-figure scoring this year for Brandon Mahan, preseason all-conference second team, and the guy who averaged 12 points per game a year ago. And again, Mahan, if he can start to play at the level that he did a year ago, this offense goes to a whole other dimension.
Changes everything. And it's already a very good offense. But when you get into conference play, so much attention on Darius Perry. He's one of the best playmakers in the American Conference. There's going to be a ton of attention directed towards Darren Green Jr., arguably the best three-point shooter in the American Conference. Your third guy needs to be Brandon Mahan. So difficult to scout against when you have to worry about 3 guys that are super efficient for 3, don't take bad shots. Very difficult to prepare for.
One more free throw for Mbake Jong. Efficient afternoon. He has 6 points, 6 rebounds. Bethune-Cookman was hanging tough for most of that first half until a flurry of threes and dunks for UCF. And the Knights have been in command since about the 7-minute mark of that first half. And it's a challenge for these historically black colleges in the early part of the season, if you're in the MEAC, if you're in the SWAC now, as Bethune-Cookman is, because they play almost exclusively on the road, games in which they're being paid to go to a place because they've got to fund their athletic budget that way. And Bethune-Cookman at 1-6 has played in some tough environments, and they still got some tough games ahead. Shot clock didn't reset, down to 3. Perry finds Green. He finally sees it. That 3 grazes the front rim, and Jong pulls it down.
Jong's everywhere. You know, UCF's up big. He doesn't have to go out to that offensive rebound. He doesn't have to do that. It's just the kind of player he is. Whoa!
Green driving. We'll normally see him get all the way to the rim. Nearly threw it down. Instead, it'll be 2 free throws.
Everybody likes to use the phrase sneaky athletic. If we're going to use it here, it's certainly a way to describe Darren Green. He's got a really good vertical leap. Very bouncy, just prefers to stay around the 3-point line.
UCF shooting it at 80% from the free throw line as a team. That's 10th best in the country. And they're above that clip today. 13 of 14 at the line, just one miss. Mikey West back in there at the point for Bethune-Cookman. It's so difficult for the Wildcats to generate clean looks at the basket.
They haven't faced a full court press like this all season. Seton Hall didn't necessarily press like this. You just mentioned the freshman Mikey West from Bethune-Cookman, who's going to be good for the Wildcats. He had 5 assists for Seton Hall, had a really nice game. But this press is just something different if you haven't faced it before.
West in a lot of traffic in the lane. Shot attempt didn't touch anything. Freeman opts to take the 3. Around and out, Jong was well positioned for that rebound, just couldn't quite squeeze it. Bethune-Cookman is yet to play a home game. Their first one will be December 15th against Johnson University. That first half is not representative of what we've seen from Bethune-Cookman so far this year. Even though they're 1-6, they've largely been really competitive in first halves this season. We mentioned the lead against Seton Hall. They were up against Air Force, tied with USF at the half. Now, they've hung in there against some teams with more talent.
It was at halftime, walked around the corner, grab another mid-sized water. And I heard one of the assistant coaches for Bethune-Cookman say, you know, these guys shoot like this, I think beat anybody in the country. So sometimes not much you can do when the team's that hot.
Adams drives off the kick, and that'll be an offensive foul. Got going at a pretty high rate of speed, and Collins Joseph absorbed the brunt of that contact.
It's going to be really interesting to see what UCF does in the American Conference. I think I had them picked as the 4th best team in the American. I could easily see them sliding up into that 3rd spot. You know, that 3rd spot's going to be a fight between Wichita State, SMU, and UCF. And right now, watching film on SMU, Wichita State, and UCF, I'd give the edge to UCF the way that they're playing.
Jameel Reynolds a little out of control on that shot attempt. Adams altered the shot by West, followed up and in by Dylan Robertson. And for people that aren't intimately following the American Conference, that means you are putting Houston and Memphis on another level above that group of teams.
Houston, no, there's not a gigantic leap at all. I just think initially of what I've seen this season, it's Houston 1, Memphis 2. But the way that Memphis has played the last 2 games, they have not looked as good as what most media members and coaches thought they were going to be. Dropped 2 games.
Penny Hardaway criticizing some of his players in his post-game comments yesterday.
Amani Bates came off the bench for Ole Miss to start the game. That's a potential lottery pick coming off the bench, and it's not because of talent. It's just I don't think that some of these guys have bought into the system and style of play that Coach Penny Hardaway wants them to buy into.
Late in the shot clock, Darius Johnson with 2 has to let it go. UCF has now missed their last 8 shots.
Coach Dawkins is disappointed with that shot from Darius Johnson because he's got to understand time, score, possession. He's got to make a play off that ball screen. It's okay to be aggressive. He wants him to be aggressive. These are valuable minutes for a player like that. So important come conference play. He's the backup point guard.
Asked Johnny Dawkins about what he's seeing with Brandon Mahan offensively after shoot-around today, and he said, look, he's struggling, but he is continuing to do things the right way. and he felt like there would be an opportunity for him to bounce back as Reynolds blocks the shot. Is it as simple as you see a few shots go in and the confidence starts to rise everywhere else in your game?
Depending on the player, yes. Case in point, Darren Green. Didn't shoot the ball well, missed a couple shots early in this game, got to the free throw line, saw the ball go in. Then he proceeds next possession, knocks down 3. So it depends on the player, but you're absolutely right. Sometimes you just need to see the ball go in. The game's truly about rhythm, and it is. For shooters, you're not trying to make the shot. What you're trying to do is you're trying to replicate the same form every single opportunity you get, because you know this form, this rhythm got me to this position. As soon as you start trying to make a shot and hope it goes in, that's when players start to fall into slumps.
Reynolds with a huge mismatch on the block. He just powered it up on Collins Joseph.
And water.
Oh, nice little brand plug there for you.
Yeah, how about that?
Out of the timeout, UCF trapping just across the midcourt line, and a deflection by Darius Johnson. Freeman with the lob. Dre Fuller looked like he got held. No whistle there on Jacoby Long. French hangs. That shot not close. Rebound, and Garrett will be on the line. Leading scorer for Bethune-Cookman. He's got 11 today.
I thought UCF has done a nice job on Joe French, the leading scorer, coming in after playing so well against Seton Hall. Joe French dropped 30 points. He's only got 10 this afternoon, 4 of 13 from the field. Took him, I mean, every single shot has been highly contested. It has not been an easy 10 points for Joe French.
Johnny Dawkins today at Shoot Around emphasizing we have to take number 30 out of the game. And for the most part, they have done a good job. And I really liked hearing what Reggie Theus had to say about French and his relationship, how he coaches him. Theus said, look, I can get a guy a shot at any time. And Joe's a guy who is a gifted offensive player. He can shoot it really well, but I'm really drilling him every day on trying to get to the free throw line, trying to become a more complete offensive player.
Well, do you want to go from just being a shooter, a spot-up shooter, or a scorer? And you do that by finding ways to score off the dribble. And inevitably, when you put the ball on the deck and attack, it increases your chances of going to the free throw line. So, yeah.
Fuller drops it inside Walker. Ends up with Reynolds. Well, he has got a lot of power when he goes up and attacks the rim.
Coach Dawkins and the UCF coaching staff have been waiting for him to play more aggressive. That's one of the reasons why he hasn't gotten enough minutes. Defensively and offensively, he can be a force off the bench for UCF. They're just waiting for him, waiting for that light to turn on. Good ball movement again. You got skip pass from Mahan. Ball gets into the paint. Nothing there. Kick out. Touch pass. Thunderous slam.
UCF now 17 assists on 21 made field goals. Bethune-Cookman pressure leads to an opportunity in transition. Fuller off on the 3. Reynolds with a huge size advantage pulled it down, but then the pass was deflected and taken away by Bethune-Cookman. Paulina into the lane, sets up Garrett. In and out with the 3, rebounded by Jacoby Long. That'll count, and a chance for a 3-point play.
You know, when you have a huge lead, there's 8:27 left. There might be some, people watching this game is take a look at this replay. Why is C.J. Walker a starter still in? Why was Brandon Mahan in? Did Darren Green check into the game? Coach Dawkins will want Darius Johnson and Jameel Reynolds. And Darius Johnson's checking out, but we'll want those guys getting minutes with starters. You need to have those guys in position to develop a rhythm in game with starters come conference play. Inevitably, guys will be in foul trouble. Someone might get sick. Someone may just be not playing well. You need guys like Darius Johnson to get minutes with the starters. You need guys like Jamil Reynolds to have a good feel for the backcourt, the starting backcourt. Always teachable moments, even in games where you're up big.
Walker with a sweeping left-handed shot. Answer from Collins Joseph at the other end. Another thing Johnny Dawkins talked about today, we asked him, what do you know about your team now that you didn't know 6 games ago? And he said, we've learned a little bit about who plays well together, what rotations work well, but we haven't figured it all out yet.
Yeah.
And they're only 6 games in, and even though a number of these guys are back together, it is a new team, a new year. You can't just assume that everything that went one way last year is going to go the same way this year. And French in trends.
Yeah, it really hurts. Michigan, came off a win versus San Diego State. That game's going to be a great one to watch on ESPN2. UCF did not play well at Michigan last season, but Wolverines top 25 in the country. They did lose.
Cookman bench as the players get back to action. How difficult is it as a player to block something like that out? Especially given the nature of the game. I mean, it's a 26-point game with 7 minutes to go. Now, at this point, all you want to do is get out of here with no more injuries, right?
Well, it can't let it consume you, because ultimately, what Coach Reggie Theus is going to talk to you about with his players is every single possession, we have to get better. We have to. This is a building process. It's going to take some time to develop the culture and the system that Coach Theus wants. So every possession is a learning opportunity to get better. And that may sound cliche and a little coach speak, but it's true, and it works. If you have your players stay locked in, there's always things you can do to get better in the moments.
Here is Perry, an air ball on the free throw line jumper. Darren Green with the shot clock running down. Buries the 3, his 3rd of the game. Green now up to 15 points. And the UCF pressure forces a turnover.
It's one of the best catch-and-shoot three-point shooters in the country, Darren Green Jr. Textbook follow-through.
And we can tell you that they have taken Collins Joseph off of the Bethune-Cookman bench. We're looking at him in the tunnel behind the bench area. Any updates we get, we'll pass it along. Walker faces up, draws 2 defenders. Isaiah Adams open 3. Green worked his way around his defender to create another opportunity for UCF. Perry into the lane, sets up Green, wide open. Rattles it home. 4 threes in the game for Darren Green.
If you needed a game to jumpstart your shooting ability back, this is the game for Darren Green.
He's got 18 to lead all scorers. Deflection and a steal by Fuller. Again, in transition, able to shield himself from the defender and lay it in. A quick 8-0 burst from UCF, and it's a 32-point margin as we come up on 5 minutes to go. French, shot deflected by Adams. Great effort from Isaiah Adams. Extending toward that Bethune-Cookman bench to challenge the shot attempt by French. Perry, great pass. Walker couldn't quite handle it. And here comes McIntyre.
That actually was a bad pass. And I'm going to tell you why right now. You can't throw a potential highlight dime like that at the best athlete in the gym at his ankles. Amongst 2 defenders, can't do it. That's just making a play in transition for Dre Fuller. He's a great utility player, great Swiss Army knife type player for UCF. Does a lot of things well. Can count on him to bring a ton of energy. He's a very good rebounder for his size, good defender, super efficient in transition offense.
4 points in 10 minutes for Dre Fuller. 1-1 for Bethune-Cookman. He missed the front end, and Fuller's been huge at different moments this year. He had 9 points against JU, helped UCF close the game with a 12-0 run, come back to win. It's 6 for 6 at the line against Miami to help the Knights close out the Hurricanes down in South Florida.
He was asked to do a lot last season at a position in which is not his natural position, and that's point guard. When Tony Johnson went out with a season-ending injury, Tony Johnson was supposed to be the true backup point guard behind Darius Perry, but when Tony Johnson went out for the season, Dre Fuller had to run a lot of point and was more than serviceable. Thrown into the fire. It's not like you're asking a player to score more. You're asking a player to be the coach on the team, and if you've never been asked to do that, it's the hardest position to transfer into. Because when your team makes a turnover, 99% of the time, it's your fault in the half court. You're playing the point guard. Whether it is your responsibility or not, it's your fault.
Yep.
You have to know where everybody is. You've got to know what you're supposed to do in the offensive set. Then you have to know what your 4 teammates are supposed to be doing. And if they're not doing the right thing, it's your fault.
Sounds like you've got
I don't sound bitter, do I?
It sounds like you've
bitter?
got a lot of pent-up bitterness over being yelled at for different things.
I've been waiting years to talk about this.
And a three-pointer goes down for Mikey West. Marcus Garrett fouled out for Bethune-Cookman. That was the reason Jameel Reynolds was at the line. We're under 4 minutes. 30-point lead for UCF. Knights led by 27 at the half. Have not been any threat. Ty Freeman working his way in between defenders and banking it in.
He's going to be really good for UCF. You could just see he just has a really high basketball IQ. Understands spaces, gaps in the defense. Boy, Joe French can't get a clean look.
Paulina into the mid-range. Around and out. Freeman pulls it down.
But UCF capitalized so well on Bethune-Cookman's 19 turnovers that it made up the difference. UCF scored 21 points off Bethune-Cookman's 19 turnovers in this game.
One of the nice things about having a wide margin at the tail end of a game like this, you get a chance to play some guys on your bench who don't normally see action. And for UCF, Levy Raynaud and Ryan Anders are on the floor for the first time this season. Anders number 25, Raynaud number 10. As Darius Johnson rebounds the missed three.
They both are scatter report all-stars. They run the offense and defense during practice to prepare the starting lineup for the upcoming game.
Freeman with a high degree of difficulty on that shot. Left hand up around the side of the basket to get it in. Freeman in double figures with 10.
Charge.
Raynaud hits the deck.
Go. Oh,
rubs some dirt off the jersey.
Wow, the whole bench is doing it too.
Offensive foul.
The whole bench is doing it. Yeah. You can take your three-point barrage all you want. Here's the stuff I like. Take it in the chest.
You know, it's not often that guys like Raynaud and Anders get moments of glory in a game. It's got to make them feel so good to see the bench react in a manner like that. There's McIntyre with the steal and the layup.
Well, Anders has played so hard that his jersey isn't even tucked in. That's how hard he's played in just this minute that he's been in the game.
It's going to be the largest margin of victory for UCF.
And you got to find him on the roll here. You had him, missed him.
Found Reynolds on the roll. His third dunk. A season high in points for Jameel Reynolds. He's got 7. UCF with a week of practice here at home, back on the floor Saturday against North Carolina A&T, and then a couple of big games. That conference opener at Temple, December 15th, and then a trip to South Florida for the Orange Bowl Classic to take on Florida State, and another opportunity for what would be a huge resume-building win.
No question. Look at the two games for UCF from a non-conference perspective that they need. That Michigan game, that Florida State game, they need to get those two. Tough loss versus Oklahoma at home. Had winnable opportunities. And then Auburn played great in the first half against an Auburn team that I think you and I mean, that's a Sweet 16 team. Anders lets it go.
Shot attempt for the 6'6" senior from Tampa, Florida.
On the
Good
floor.
On the floor, and it's going to end up as a steal. Reynaud up ahead, Reynolds. One more exclamation point that Reynolds went for.
Yeah, you gotta pull that out.
And Bethune Cookman will opt to let it go. Johnny Dawkins telling Jamil Reynolds it's okay.